All right, let's take the discussion forward. There's a lot of developments triggered by the government moves happening in the ethanol space. We have Mr. Chandra Kumar Jain, CMD of Gulshan Poly, and Kushal Mittal, joint MD of BCL Industries, two very loved stocks in the market by traders and investors. And both these stocks are being seen as beneficiaries of the developments which are actually happening. Now, OMCs will provide additional incentive of almost 3.7 rupees a litre on ethanol produced from damaged food grain and maize. So that's the big trigger. So, Mr. Mittal and everybody, both of you, Mr. Jain and Mr. Mittal, thank you so much for joining us today. Mr. Jain, I would like to start with you. How is the earning visibility looking right now? And because of the news which has just come in regarding a space, next 12 to 18 months, how much additional earnings would companies such as yours actually gain?
Good morning. You see, first of all, on behalf of the grain ethanol industry, of which I am the part, I will thank Government of India, Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas, DFPD and OMC for considering the request of industry, which was long pending, about giving the much needed viable price to fulfill the demand of the dream project of Prime Minister. As you know, this is for the energy security. As today is Chandrayaan, so ethanol Chandrayaan has also gone up, and it will surely land on the moon. The grain ethanol is quite industry is quite sure now the government department will handhold the industry in need of hour in future as well. The responsibility of the grain ethanol has also increased because we have to provide 50% of the ethanol, which is required for 20% blending from grain source. There are many other issues like surplus rice from FCI. I hope that will also be sorted out in the near future. As far as company is concerned, last quarter, this current quarter was really, it was affected due to non-availability of grain, non-availability of everything. But we hopeful going forward, maximum capacity will be utilized. The company has already set up, already done the capex for getting a top line of 2,000 crore rupees through the ethanol route over our existing capacities. And I hope by next year, all this will come in line in next 12 to 18 months. So that will be added additional capacity in our top line. I hope this is good for the stakeholders. OMCs will make all our projections, will meet all the projections with given to the OMC and its stakeholders.
We'll come back to you once again. I want to understand a little bit of numbers though. Mr. Mittal, how much earnings looking visibility do you have for 23, 24 and 25 also?
See, that all depends on the ethanol prices and the grain prices moving forward. Currently, the revision in the price has been done until the start of November. And depending on the grain prices, where they will be going, I think the ethanol prices will be revised further next year. If I were to talk about currently, see, our company has operated in about 15 to 18% of EBITDA margin in the past when it comes to the distillery sector. And we expect the numbers to remain about the same going forward as well, because the revision that has been done to make the prices of maize ethanol viable and damaged food grain ethanol viable, which is a very good move for the long term. One, because maize is a lot more, it's a greener crop as opposed to growing paddy. It consumes less water. And it's also the crop that has been used by the ethanol industry worldwide. So I think this is a very, very positive step by the government to make the grain-based ethanol business a long-term viable business for the entire industry and the agriculture sector for India.
Right, Mr. Mittal, this is Vinny joining in the conversation as well. one more question coming your way is in terms of, margins. What is that also in terms of the benefit that you will be enjoying? Because there are a couple of factors that come into it. So for your margins in terms of three parts, one is obviously, enjoying what were the margins you were seeing with the FCI rice prices. Then other than that, with the initial price hike that was taken in the beginning of the month of August, and now including this incentive, how do you see your margins shaping up?
See, our margins, to be honest, now with the price revision that has been done, the margins have now been brought at the same level that they were at the FCI rice production. So I honestly do not see the margins exceeding what they were when FCI rice was at full swing for the industry. As a company, speaking for BCL Industries, our margins will be improved due to the new paddy straw-based power plant that has been added in our Bathinda plant. Which will be by which we'll be able to save significantly in our power costs. But besides that, taking all the variables at hand, right now with the current pricing, according to me, the margins are the same as what they were during the FCI rice era.
Right. Mr. Kumar, also just want to understand in terms of one more thing is that, this FCI rice supply situation, the disruption there, obviously the prices of damaged food grain and maize had also risen. Now, because of that, how much had the increase been as of now? If you could give us an understanding on that.
See, the rice price, surplus rice price will have to come back. And we are quite hopeful the government is considering our request, because all the three things are required to meet 600 crore liters from grain. Maize is required, DFG is required, surplus rice is required. So we are quite hopeful. The margins will remain static. They're not that everything is going to the margin. The prices of the grain are highly fluctuating, as you already know. So margin are comfortable, but not skyrocketing, not very high.
But not very high. But thank you so much, Mr. Jain, as well as Mr. Mittal, for joining in with us, giving us an understanding on what this actually means for the industry and for your companies as well. And that was a very incentive in terms of how to look at it is something that we're watching out for. Both the stocks today are buzzing in trade after this news flow.